What is Nirvana? Nirvana means blowing out. And that's exactly what I would say it is. It's a blowing out. It's like a complete hard drive reformat, wipe everything clear. Everything that you may have believed, everything that you had thought to be true about the world, yourself, others, everything basically just gets wiped clean. All of the illusion is basically destroyed. And there's now clarity. There's clear seeing. The perception that you once had is no more. Everything is wiped totally clean. Everything is blown out. The whole dream that you considered to be your entire life is blown out. Who you thought you were, gone, erased. And what's left is nothing. But this nothing is also freedom. It's freedom. It's freedom from life. It's freedom from yourself. It's freedom from everything. Like nothing exists when this dawns, the blowing out. It's literally like it's like a flame being blown out or like an explosion basically just occurs where it's like you're gone. You're gone. The world's gone. Everything's gone. It's just this transcendental state, which is not a state because states come and go. But when the realization's to be had, I guess you can say, that pure awareness, which is formless and visible, infinite, absolute, it's always here. It's always here. But what falls away is the wrong perception of who you are, the wrong perception of others, the wrong perception of the world, the identification with the body, mind is seen through. And because you see through it, it just falls away. It's just wiped out. Because you're seeing through it as an illusion. You're seeing through it as something that never existed. Because the truth has been realized. And when you have the truth, and when you have the illusion, or when you have something that's real and something that's false, when that's realized, when that truth is realized, something that's false, something that's unreal, doesn't exist. And then that's what's seen very clearly at the time. It doesn't exist. It drops. Instantly it drops. But that is everything that you have conceptually known your entire life. It's everything. Your entire world, your entire dream, your entire, what you believe to be reality just drops, is gone. And what's left is the ultimate reality. This was relative, and this is absolute. Right? So it's the relative reality that's dropped, that's blown away, that's seen through. And then what's actually real is realized. And when this happened, it was, I didn't even know what the word meant. I didn't know anything. I didn't use any of these words. And it was just this perfect happiness, total freedom from life itself. freedom from who you think you are, freedom from the person, freedom from lies, false identities, false perceptions, from suffering. There's an end to the suffering. Suffering just drops because the suffering is created from the misperceptions. The suffering is created from the identification of something that you're not. The suffering is created from the illusion. And when that's all dropped, so is suffering. And then there's just perfect happiness, perfect peace, unconditional, no reason for it. Perfect happiness for no reason. And just absolute freedom. Freedom itself, not freedom for anyone. There's no, at this time, there's no time. There's no time, there's no space, there's no person. It's just you are freedom. You are perfect happiness. You are perfect peace. You are infinite. And there's nothing. There's nothing. When the explosion happens, when the shift kind of happens, when the illusions just drop, everything just drops. And what remains is what was actually always here. It's what's here right now. It's what's here right now. It's always here. So it's just the illusion is blown out. And the only thing that's left is the only thing that's real. Everything else is coming and going. Everything else is changing. But what's left when everything's blown out is the only thing that's actually permanent. And that's what you realize is that's what you are. It becomes self-evident because there's nothing else. Everything is gone except for you, but not you as a person, not you as a body, not you as a mind, not you as any thought or concept. It's something indescribable, nameless. Can't talk about it. I've tried in some videos just to point to it, but it needs to be directly experienced, directly realized. Otherwise, it's just another belief that then is part of the illusion. So blowing out is a good word. When it happened, it was just like, yeah, I would say I didn't know that Nirvana meant blowing out. Didn't even know Nirvana. I don't even think I've heard of the name other than the band. I didn't know anything. And just, it was like shock. You can't speak. There's no body to speak. There's no thoughts. It's beyond thought. It's transcendental. It's beyond. It's beyond thought. And it's not a state. Everything else comes and goes. In this that I'm talking about, everything is coming and going. The illusion is coming and going. It's freedom itself. Freedom itself, so free that it allows the illusion to be experienced within it. It allows the misidentification. It's so free. It's so open. It's so allowing. It's so infinite. Right? So everything that's finite just seems to kind of drop or blow out or erase. And the only thing that's left is the infinite. And it's this kind of, I don't even know if it's a feeling. It's just something that's It's like an inner knowing. It's not a feeling. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. It was just, there's nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, no desire. You're just completely desireless. You're perfect. It's perfect happiness. There's no desire, completeness, wholeness, nowhere to go. And it's very much from the who you think you were. There's always somewhere to go. And then what's left is there's nowhere to go. And there's also it's a direct realization, just being infinite. If you are infinity, where do you go? Where do you go? You're infinite. It's like there's nowhere to go. You're taking up all space. All spaces is within you. So it's so difficult to to describe. It's so difficult to describe. It's really indescribable. It's ineffable. It's just, it is what it is. It's death and life at the exact same time. What dies is everything that you're not. It's the illusion that dies. It's the lies that die. That's what's getting exploded. And the only thing that stands, the only thing that remains is the truth.